here. So
Yeah.
Just tell me where you need me, Timeless.
At least you're...
I'm here.
All right, gamers, if you're ready, step forward and chill at the bottom of the stage here.
All right.
Oh god, there goes my full body.
Oh.
All right, I think that's enough people who are ready. Do I sound okay to you guys?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Raise your hand if you were at the basics workshop.
Oh, I was there.
All right, all of you fuckers on my left. Everyone who has not been to the basics workshop on my right, please.
Stage. Okay.
I think we should go
This
upstairs
is
and
left.
do the rest of this
I was
one.
waiting for a ping.
All right,
Yes,
so
join now.
This is left. This is left.
little teeny tiny itty bitty PSA for you guys. Just because you come to the advanced workshop does not mean you are exempt from the basics. If you have watched the VODs, if you plan on consuming the PowerPoint once Luca gets that out the door, any of the other supplementary materials, if you're going to have a sit down with me when I start doing the sit downs and the smaller group activities and stuff like that, you're good. I need you to consume the basics materials in some way, shape, or form mandatory. Okay, we're pushing that server side. Every single person in the roleplay is going to do that before season 4. So you guys are not exempt from that just because you come here, and that is how every advanced workshop is going to be. Are we clear on that?
Yes.
Understood.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you. All right, you guys can become a chaotic pile again. Those of you who went to the basics workshop know what I'm going to ask now. Ladies and gentlemen, a question. What is the purpose of combat in a VR roleplay? What is your goal?
Telling a story.
Damn fucking straight, telling a story. There are no turns. Telling a story. Telling a story, telling a story, telling a story. We're not here to win. We're not here to kill other players or other cast members or supporting cast members or what have you. We are not here to lord over people. We're not here to make super powerful builds and characters who are the end-all be-all of roleplay. We're not here to impose fake make-believe superiority upon anybody, because it's just that. It's make-believe, and you're just imposing fake superiority on other people. We are here to tell a story, and combat is simply one of the many mediums people want to use to tell stories, and it's a pretty fun medium at that. If you are here at this advanced workshop, I'm assuming that you either want to play a combat-focused character in Season 4, you are already playing a combat-focused character, or you are a character who knows for a fact that you are going to be in gunfights often. Say you're a non-combat healer, but you also happen to be a part of the runner network, for example. That's a really good reason to come to this workshop. You should know that information. If you are a non-combat character, and I cannot stress this enough, so listen closely. If you are a non-combat character who is not going to be in fights that often, this workshop is not information your character will know. And if any of us see you using this information in character in Season 4, trust and believe moderation is going to be up your ass real quick. We're not playing around this season. I promise you now. That's why we're doing stuff like this. So you're only using this information if your character would know it, or if your character is going to be surrounded in that climate. We clear?
Yes, sir.
Very cool. Okay. Last thing, it is required that GMs are notified in the event of any combat that is going to be engaged between any parties at any time before the combat begins. A DM should be on station, tracking, and ready. No exceptions. We clear?
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. We'd love to hear it. Okay. So something I kind of wanted to open up with after I got all the official shit out of the way like that is how people have been reacting to shots and how there's a little bit of inconsistency. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Generally speaking, most people are kind of in different camps for it. After talking with staff, we've kind of got a consensus down. TLDR, if you get shot and you don't drop a health state, it's not the end of the world. It grazed you, it hit your armor, it hit the plate. You know, you took the impact, and you're going to take the impact of the bullet. So, for example, Star. Where's my reaction? You took the impact.
Funny enough,
Where's the drama?
You're being a bad example, Star.
it actually missed Star.
Now see that? Did you lose a health state, Quackers?
I did not.
You did not. Okay, so what I will say is your reaction was a little bit overboard for someone who didn't lose a health state. Now, let's say, because you're probably going to lose a health state when I hit you this time, let's say you don't, and you just get hit. You're wearing armor. Even though this is a higher caliber handgun, you're wearing armor. At most, if I hit you in the chest, you can take it as a shoulder shot. You're going to recoil, but you're still going to be ready to fight back.
Okay, that's your piece.
That's better. He had a gun out, it would probably still be aiming at me. So again, the key here, these health states that we use in ND, you know the ones. If you don't, they're pretty cool. You should learn about them. These health states are here to showcase when you're taking damage from sources you might not know that are in system like the guns. You don't need to react like it's the end of the world when you get shot. If you lose a health state, if you go from healthy to injured, if you go from that minor injury to a major, major to severe, that's when you react to that injury. You sustain an actual full injury. And that is when you would react to that. Otherwise, you know, if you're still healthy after getting shot, recoil your shoulder. If it was a chest shot, you know, maybe like let your leg kick out from under you. Small reactions that kind of keep you on your toes and keep you in the fight. Especially those of us who are already combatants. Your characters are probably used to getting shot at or shot. They're okay with taking 1 or 2 rounds, especially if they're wearing armor. Once you actually take that health state down, you take that as an injury. If that's an arm shot, you actually react to that arm being shot. You start to hold it, that sort of thing. I want to make that very clear because there's a lot of confusion on that. That's something we wanted cleared up for people so that we're not all playing by different rules. A lot of this workshop, a lot of the basics workshop is making sure everybody's playing by the same rules. So there's no more guessing games on that. Thank God. Do we have any questions on that specifically before I really get into the nitty gritty?
Okay, so what if I'm playing a character that isn't super used to combat and they've really never gotten shot before? Should I still react like it's nothing?
I mean, you still didn't lose a health state in this hypothetical, so you're like getting grazed on the arm. I'm assuming you're not wearing armor. You're getting grazed on the arm or wherever you get grazed, but I mean, you're not used to combat. You're probably terrified. So it's a lot more like cowering down, running away, etc., whatever you need to do. It's gonna hurt a lot more, so you know you can play up the drama of being in pain, but it's not a sustained injury in the sense of there's not a bullet in your arm because you took 5 points of damage is the key here. There's a bullet in your arm once that 5 points of damage puts you from healthy to injured. That said, this is not nor will ever be an excuse to not react to being shot. So I want to clarify that even though you're not losing that health state, you should still react to the actual impact of the round, like I was showcasing with Quackers there earlier. What we want that to do is to showcase, you know, you've been shot. The impact, the force of that round hitting your armor, grazing off of you, whatever, is going to recoil your body back. And although you might be fine to keep fighting, you're still going to feel that weight and react to that weight. And that still showcases feedback to your role-playing partner who happens to be shooting at you that they did, in fact, land their shots. Okay. I got a big old disclaimer for you, and then we get to get into the fun shit.
So, on reacting, are we strictly paying attention to health lowering, or if we think
I mean, ideally,
if it doesn't register, play off it, etc.?
So if the shot doesn't actually like deal damage to you, but it was close enough, that's where like suppressing comes in, and we'll talk more about what suppression is later in the workshop. But that's you'd react to being shot at, not necessarily being shot.
Okay.
You know that's kind of to offset the scuff that comes with that.
If people have like vulnerabilities or weaknesses and stuff, should we play that up a little bit more, you'd say?
Yes.
Or would it be similar?
Yeah, so like if you've got like a plasma vulnerability and you're getting shot at by Shimetsu, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn a lot harder. It's gonna hurt. And I mean, again, you still might end up being healthy, but that vulnerability, you probably have it for a reason, and you probably know how your character would react to adhere to that vulnerability. Just do that.
Question? What if you've got a weapon that isn't on the system? So, for example, I've got the harpoon launcher.
So I don't actually know how they feel about the harpoon launcher in particular, but anything that's not in system ideally is going to be just melee weapons, maybe some like super close range magic. You should not have any guns that are not in system on your models, and any guns that currently don't function in system, the DMs have ways of answering that. If they don't, we've probably got one coming.
What we usually do for things like that is we'll manually add damage. So like if you shoot someone and it registers a hit on for us and for the recipient and for you, then we can add damage to people to help them out.
So, next question is that someone who goes into battle with a scrap harpoon is just being a major pain in the ass?
When you put it like that, I mean, it definitely is helpful to the DMs to have weapons that are in system, especially when going into PvP. If you're using that for PvE for like stuff on extras, it's not as difficult for us to take care of. But yeah, for PvP, it's a lot harder for us to track that kind of thing. It is possible for us to do, but it's harder.
It's also another reason why we say if there's any type of combat, you need to let a DM know, because the fact is not only like a harpoon, sorry, I'm invisible. Magic is another situation that requires a DM oversight because it's not in system, but it exists. So that's why it's also important that a DM must be present during any combat situation.
What about mace?
Another DM situation, but it's also so minor. If that's up to RP like etiquette and people taking mace to the face, really.
Yeah, a lot of those things that are going to be on your model they're either melee weapons, which work like melee weapons in system, or they're going to be things that are very easily conveyed on model. So like if you've got like I know Quackers has a taser on that model, things like that. It's very obvious what the effect is, so it's pretty obvious what the reaction should be. And that helps in that regard.
But it is hindering them.
Okay. Still, do you want?
I don't know, dude. If I get bear mace sprayed on my helmet visor, like I probably can't see. I mean, Jimothy just wins that fight. Like low diff.
You spray painted my helmet, dude.
Don't tell me that.
Low diff, honestly.
When are we rebalancing, Jimothy?
We're not. Jimothy's allowed to be overpowered. All right.
Maybe you see those shoes.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Going once, going twice. Sold the void. All right. So, last big spiely chunk of reading that I've got for you all, and then we get to do fun shit. So, most modern roleplays are, and by modern roleplays, I don't mean modern as in modern day IRL. I mean most are roleplays that take place in a modern or postmodern or futuristic setting, ones with guns. That's where I'm going with this. Most modern day focused roleplays are full of guns. They're chock full of guns, in fact. And naturally, you don't bring knives to gunfights. Coyote, show me what happens traditionally when someone brings a knife to a gunfight. Now, naturally, that's not very fun for melee characters to deal with. So, what we like to do is not mag dump the fuck out of them. All right, I'm a level with y'all. Melee characters understand that you kind of need to shoot at them to deal with them if you're not a melee character. So if, say, OSL is bum rushing me with intent to melee from this far away, and I have only a gun, no melee weapons on me, only a gun, I am going to take a couple of shots as she's coming in. I'm going to very easily take a couple of shots in hopes that I can get some kind of damage before she closes in to fuck my shit up. That's okay, but once they get close enough to engage with you, you need to stop shooting and start blocking with your rifle and hoping for the best. Now, ideally, and I'm call out posting the shit out of melee characters when I say this, ideally, and I'm not asking melee characters, you should be focusing melee units before you focus on people with guns. Please, dear God, prioritize the people that the GMs put into the engagement to deal with you so that you are within your realm of comfort and not dragging someone out of their realm of comfort. Let the gunfighters do the gunfighting, you deal with the melee units. That's the balance of it. If there are no melee units and you kind of need to do a little bit of closing in on some gunfighters, that's cool. Understand and appreciate they're going to take shots at you. That's why melee characters have shields often. That's why they have movement attributes often. That's why they're tankier often. Because they know that they need to close in because they're going to get shot at. But we don't want to mag dump them point blank because you're just going to win that engagement. Try to find the balance. It's a little finicky. Take a few shots and remember what weapons you have. Like, so if I'm using this revolver here, right? High powered, slow firing relatively. I know this thing's fast as shit, but relatively slow firing compared to, say, the rifle. I'd take max 2 shots with this. With the rifle, I take like max 4 or 5. I'm not just going to hold down the trigger and mag dump them. I'm going to take a couple shots and then prepare for them to close distance. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing, is you're preparing to defend yourself. And logically, the best way to do that is to mag dump. It's not fun. So realistically, what we're doing is we're blocking, we're dodging, we're running away. We're getting distance without firing on them while getting that distance. So that's how we bring knives to gunfights, because otherwise it kind of just doesn't work. That said, gunfights are going to happen in close quarters a lot. And by close quarters, I mean up to melee range. There's tight hallways, especially on like the mission map here. There's a ton of tight hallways. I'll get to you in just a moment. There's tons of tight hallways. There's tons of close quarters, and close quarters gunfights are going to happen. I'm not asking you to, as a character who has no melee options, drop your guns and get into melee as soon as anybody comes within melee range. If it's another dude with a gun, feel free to point blank them. Like, I mean, if I'm around a invisible corner from Coyote and we're both holding this corner and I peek around it and he peeks around and we've got 2 guns pointed at each other, we're both going to shoot or we're both going to respectfully agree to try again. There's no in between. I mean, knowing him, I'm probably just going to bat his gun out of the way and go in for the melee. But, you know, sometimes their knee-jerk reaction is going to be to shoot at you. Shoot back. If you get point blank back. Honestly, you're both kind of just signing up for it at that point. And that's okay. Don't mag dump each other, though. We don't need to lay on the trigger while we're shooting, because we can't simulate recoil. We can't make you actually kick back on recoil because it messes up the shots. What we want you to do instead is maybe take a few shots, you know, take that burst. And they can be different numbers each time, you know, maybe you fire 5, you fire 6, you fire 7, but you space your shots out. You give people time to react. That also offsets things like ping. So, like, I know HB in freaking EU time zone here in the middle of the night because he's an absolute mad lad. If I shoot him, it takes him damn near 2 seconds to register that I have shot him. So if I'm mag dumping him, he is dead before he realizes he's getting mag dumped, or at least well into it. Whereas if I take those 5 or 6 shots and then I pause before shooting again, Sure, he's still going to sustain that injury, but he's also now going to have enough time from me offsetting that ping by spacing my shots to react, get away from it, register in his out of character head that he's getting shot at, and do something about it in character. So in close quarters, we want to keep guns kind of sequence breaky. You're going to want to suppress people, indirect fire, keep them down, and use that to get away. But you might end up in a close quarters gunfight. It's cool. That's why shotguns exist. That's why, pistols exist. It's fine. Just understand that if you point blank someone, you're going to get point blanked. If you are going to fire on someone, anyone, I don't care if they're a supporting cast member, I don't care if they're a character, I don't care if they're a GM played NPC, please, dear God, make sure they know they're getting shot at. Like I just said with HB, ping happens, it's going to take some time, especially if it's like from their 6, if it's from behind on them. I know, cursed words. Rather than just doming Coyote here without him getting any kind of reactivity, I'm going to call out to him, I'm going to taunt him, or I'm going to shoot next to him. And that is at minimum enough for him to react. Now, sometimes the sound might be a little finicky and he might not hear that because audio sources in VRChat are wild. If that happens, you call out to them. It's okay if they didn't notice the shot and there's a bit of scuff. You yell at them instead. You get them to turn around. I'm going to keep it a buck. Stealth characters are going to absolutely flank out extras and supporting cast members without telling them on runs and on missions. They're just going to dome you guys in the back. I would hope they don't. This is a call out post. I would hope they don't. But they're probably going to. And that's one of those scenarios where we try to remember that when you guys are playing those nameless grunts, you can respawn, they can't. And that's 90% of why they're doing it. Which is fine. You're going to have 90 other opportunities in the run to deal with them. If you think it's legitimately unfair or you have any legitimate issues with how they handled it, you can let a GM know. A GM will let mod team know. Mod team will look into it. Otherwise, take the respawn. Don't overthink it. You've got 90 other chances to fight them. You got 90 other chances to fuck them up. And I would hope to God that you're not mad about it because you didn't get that opportunity to end a story, because that's not what we're here to do. We're here to tell a story, not end them. All right, we are going to take this shit outside so you guys can actually do stuff. Get in that teleporter.
I have a question. Wait, hold on.
So, Timeless, I noticed a lot last season that we had player characters in close quarter situations with a lot of, movement. They would get into a fight and they'd try to be dodging shit, running around to, try and get the jump on someone. Jesus Christ. What's the easiest way for our cast members to be conscious of their, fast-paced movement during combat? Because I know it's hard when adrenaline's pumping and you're in a situation where you can get a death roll, but how can our players be more conscious of that?
I try to make sure people are moving within their means, even when you've got so this character, my shitty boy here, he has a speed minor edge. I move a little bit faster. I still half stick when I'm wearing armor and carrying 4 guns because it's the weight, right? We want to at least, even if the character can handle that weight just fine, we want to conserve the energy for the fight. So we're not blazing around constantly, especially not in a gunfight. Generally, I tell people to just slow down overall. But if they are playing a character who's maybe more melee oriented and they need to dodge and weave and do that sort of thing to get in, just remember again that VRChat has a lot of scuff. So instead of just bum rushing the person that you're going for, weaving around, maybe do some cover to cover, instead of just left sticking all over the place to get to them. I'm going to go all the way up here to show you what I would rather do. Instead of doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to keep in cover to cover. We're going to stop at certain intervals and keep moving, because that at least lets their latency catch up enough to know that you are approaching and keeps you safe enough on that approach to where you're not just running into gunfire. I don't know if that answered, but I hope it did.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
Very pog. Anybody else have questions? No, you may not.
Very brief. Oh, all right then.
Yes, Coyote.
Coyote, turn yell on.
Thank you. So I will say as well as just respecting whether or not you're in melee engagement range as well is something that can help out with that. So basically, if you are in a range that of which you wouldn't be able to untangle yourself from somebody, joysticking away from them is probably not the best idea. I know we don't all have access to a larger play space, but if you can physically move back from them, you're going to simulate a speed that's going to be a lot more accurate to what's going on, rather than just joysticking backwards. However, if you don't have that space, it's okay to move away at a maybe half stick, like you said, or find a natural
half
way
stick,
to
quarter
disengage
stick.
yourself in that capacity.
And even if you're in half body, it's cool to physically move. I know you're going to do the half body shuffle. Fun fact, the half body shuffle is not as bad as you think it is. It's really not. It's not a super immersion breaking end of the world. To be honest, when you're doing it side to side, it looks like a strafe when you're gunfighting, and it's fine. It actually kind of works. When you're fist fighting, it looks like you're kind of like boxer stepping, which works. It's fine. It is okay to do the half body shuffle if you need to physically move. Do that sooner than you would left stick. Yes.
This goes for both melee and ranged, but just for engagements of like, a more vertical situation, like what would
Air combat.
Verticality.
like
I've got verticality a little bit later in.
Goes up.
I'm gonna be honest, if you can fly, fuck that melee character. Fly away from him. Shoot him. That's your kid. What are they gonna do? Throw their knife at you? That's their fault for rushing you down when you can fly. If you have the means to get away, all I ask is that you don't shoot at them while you're getting away, because obviously you're not going to shoot very accurately while you're flying. Unless you've been training your whole life to do that. And even then, I'd kind of, as a GM, be like, nah, that's kind of just not fair. When you're running away, you can't shoot accurately when you're running towards or away or around or running. Shooting accurately, never in the same sentence. Just don't do it. If you are trying to shoot accurately, you should be stationary or walking at most. So if you need to get distance from a melee character or do anything involving removing yourself from that situation, you want to make sure you're doing it in a manner that is not you icing somebody while you're doing it. If there are characters who have like magic or explosives or something of that sort that allow them to kind of, if you magic missile somebody while you're flying away, again, that's kind of your kit. I can't really fight it. I can't say I agree with it, but I can't really fight it. Flying away, totally cool. Do that. Just be like, fuck you, melee character, yeet. Just dip. It's fine.
Okay, but for example, say I'm a melee character, you're ranged, and similar to what you said earlier about, engaging, and then there's that moment where, okay, we're in melee now. I doubt I can just go right on top of you here, right?
If you drop down on me like that, and like, all right, if I'm guns up and you drop down on me like that, I'm immediately going to try and block with this gun and hope for the damn best.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine for closing. That's a closing tool. They will shoot at you on the way there. They're totally gonna shoot you on the way there.
Thank you.
That's at your own risk. HB.
I just feel like also when it comes to flying at people, I feel like as long as you also give them sort of like a little bit of a verbal heads up that you're literally coming from above of them, I feel like it should be fine as well. Because there's a thing of dropping from above and then just, sure you might come in like a missile, but it's not gonna be fun if somebody can see it coming, honestly.
Yeah, if you are going to be approaching anybody from a dead angle, anywhere that they can't see, whether that's above, below, behind, sides, whatever, please notify them before you do anything. Just taunt them, give them some kind of auditory clue that you exist. 'Cause we don't have, I can't hear footsteps of people behind me. These assholes could be doing anything behind me and I don't know. Except for the camera that totally just snitched on Coyote. I can't believe he believed me. Alright. Any other questions? I might be a little blind. You might have to step in front of me if I don't see your hand. No? Cool. Alright. If you haven't gotten your weapons already, go do that. You indecisive fucks. If you have, go on that teleporter.
Oh yeah, if you were late, there were some stragglers that were arrived late. Your job is to grab two weapons.
Yeah, if you're late, go pick two
Signing
weapons.
up to engage in melee combat. If you don't want to engage in melee combat, don't pick up a melee weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Shields are one of the weapons.
True and based. Shields are one of the weapons.
Yes. Yes, that is the rule.
Oh, does he have to? You don't have to pick up, but if you do pick up,
I mean, I'm trying to teleport. But
No, if he wants to do melee, he needs a melee weapon. He can't come beating people with a gun in a melee.
No, yeah. I mean, ideally, you wouldn't beat someone with your gun. You'll actually break it.
That wouldn't stop me from trying.
True, but then the gun's broken.
Are you sure I can't use the scrap harpoon?
Like, I know it doesn't
Doing good so far?
damage, but I think.
Give me a sec. I'll get you
At least for this,
Yeah,
no. Not
I'm doing fine. I actually feel more confident. It's
Get it.
jitters. It's jitters.
Well, don't dox yourself on stream. Get in there.
What the fuck?
Okay, there we go. Alright.
No.
Teleporter.
We go.
What happened here?
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing like being in
All right, folks.
I think we need to go way over there with everybody else. I don't know. Oh yeah, I see that.
I want my squads behind me for now.
Oh wait.
It's kind of vibing over here. Everybody else, I'd like you in front of me, if possible, except Coyote and Luca. You guys can go wherever the fuck is best for you to go. You free agents, you majestic animals. Where is Coyote? Can't believe Coyote's dead. Rest in piss. All right.
Has anyone seen our good boy?
Drake, where's the saw?
All right. Tighten up. I don't want to keep you guys here for 4 hours. Let's make it happen.
Don't mind me.
Warp, understood. Cool. Yep, right here is fine. All right, so we're going to talk about how to shoot shit. And then we're going to try it out. So, first and foremost, I want to separate your in-character and your out-of-character minds for a moment and explain to you that just because your character, who is a living, breathing, mortal individual, I don't care. If you're a synth, you're not living and breathing, you're still technically mortal. When you're destroyed, you're dead, you know what I mean. Bottom line, your character most likely wants to survive, right? Is there anybody in here who just has a straight up death wish for their character and doesn't give a shit if they die? If so, you're edgy. I'm sorry. I love you, but you're edgy.
Oh my god.
Otherwise, all of you want to live. Now, here's the thing. That can make you get a little lost in the sauce out of character. It can make you do things that you maybe wouldn't do or that the character maybe wouldn't do to keep the character alive, and that's not what we want. You want all of your seeking out survival to be in character only. That is your character trying not to die, not you, the role player, trying not to lose the role play, because there's nothing to win or lose. We're just here to have fun and tell a story. If you die, I get it. It's painful. It's hard. A lot of people struggle with accepting their character deaths. It is difficult. I understand very intimately, but it's also make-believe. I know there's time and money and energy and avatar work that goes into it. You could repurpose your models for other roleplays. You could repurpose your models for other purposes in VRChat. And if you have not considered doing that, you should consider doing that, because you should not have this model for a singular purpose, because you're going to be mad when something happens to that character and you feel like you lost that money and have to throw that model away. I don't know about y'all. I'm below the poverty line. If I die, I don't get to come back as a character again. I've already told staff if I die, I might try to be a GM at best. Otherwise, I'm just going to do supporting cast stuff and vibe, because I don't have the money to come back. And I'm okay with that. If Titus dies, he fucking dies. That's me being dumb. Odds are, this character dies, it's him being dumb because he is trying his best not to die. So you want to separate what is your in character, I want to survive, and your out of character, I don't want my character to die, and you need to make sure they do not intersect. You leave that second one, that out of character one, at the door when you come into the role play. You only bring in that in character, I want to survive, and you keep within your character's means when you seek survival. You do not betray your character's traits. You do not betray their intentions. You do not betray their thoughts. You do not betray their attributes to survive, and you do not design them in such a way where you can counteract anything that could put them in danger. They need to have a clear and present danger as a part of the character so that you are in fact at risk of dying. Otherwise, I mean, why are you bothering with combat? One of the best ways to keep things flowing in a combat scenario and to survive in character is to communicate to your allies in character. Squad 1, pull up your radios, channel 5. Squad 2, channel 10. Squad 3, 15. Squad 4, 20. 420.
Oh, okay, alright.
Keep your character's reactions in mind. Communicate with your allies. Cooperate and cohese with your allies. And we're going to talk about a bunch of ways that you can do that. Number 1, cover, blind firing, and peeking out. So we're gonna do some dodgeball shit here. I need you guys to do this very quickly. Okay, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're gonna pick a random person. Don't overthink it until as many people are picked as possible. Go. Come on, squad 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Pick your people.
Sorry,
Make sure you're yelling so they can hear you.
Be on yell.
Oh yeah.
I was meeting your mouth. Okay.
Elder to solos.
First choice. Holy shit.
Quickly. 4 squad 2. That's us.
Coyote and Luca are off limits, so am I.
Oh, no.
Fox.
Quacker's stacked team much?
I don't even like this already. I'm just
I know, Quacker's team is deadly. What the fuck?
I'm getting high school flashbacks.
Yeah, my blood pressure's rising as well.
Come on, double time it, people. I don't want to keep them here for 4 hours. Let's get it.
If you start picking, I will start picking for you.
You can see me? Hello?
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
We're going in order,
You, be on yell. Be on yell so they can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Alright, you're up.
Darth.
Alright. Steven.
How was Al?
Nobody knows.
Or Solon.
What about us?
Choose right line.
Yeah, we got Skip.
Oh. That was 2.
I believe in you. You guys are doing great.
I believe Java called you sketchy.
We'll take one. We'll take one. You're with us.
Pull it out. Pull it out of Java. Alright. Exploder.
Java called you for their squad.
Method.
Yeah.
I think they just.
Renegade.
Okay, so when we do this, I'm gonna stay on broadcast. I'm gonna go over stuff. I'm gonna break these two into groups. So squad 1 and 2 are gonna be group 1. I'll be with them. You'll be with 3 and 4. And you're just gonna be like the examples for whatever it is we talk about doing. I know you know everything that I'm gonna talk about anyway. Give them like a short demonstration of what it is we're doing, and then have the 2 squads kind of use that information against each other when I call for demonstration. That's going to be like when I call for them to actually practice.
Are we actually doing like numerical
neither.
order or physical order? Because we've been in front of
Darth.
a couple of times.
Numerical. Metamera.
Okay, so I'll go after you next time then.
I'm learning never to trust any of you to do things like this again. My god. No, you're fine. I'm fucking with you. Carry on. What does HB stand for? Does it stand for hamburger buns?
Hamburger buns. Are we starting this conversation now?
Look, Nico.
Laughs and knows what stands.
Are you okay?
2, 4, 6.
Darth.
4,
Timothy.
6,
My
7,
foot, like-
2.
Yeah! Java.
Yes.
You get Grim. Grim go. Grim go.
Are we pretty even, Kappa? If we need a fill in 1 or 2 places, I might have you bring Fenris in or something.
No, we're all 7. We're even out.
Really? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, squad 1 and 2, you are group 1. You are coming with me. I will place you where you are starting. Squad 1 and 2. 3 and 4, sit tight. I'll be back for you. All right, squad 1. Your line of scrimmage is right here
The pattern.
to this corner, to this ramp, and that far corner. That is squad 1's line of scrimmage. It's like box here up to this ramp. You guys spread out according to your squad leads' fucking instructions. I don't care how you do it. Figure that shit out. Squad 2, come with me.
Ooh. Well, I'll have to figure out what exactly we're planning to do here.
Squad 2, you guys get this little line right here. You get everything up to the ramp on that same side, the top of the ramp, and they get the bottom of the ramp. Spread out, do your thing, get in positions.
Radio 10, right?
Radio 10.
All right, make sure you guys are all on your radio stations. Your squad leads should know what radio stations those are. That is so you guys can communicate with one another.
As everyone's in here.
How this is going to work is I'm going to be with group 1, Coyote's going to be with group 2, and we're going to go over what we're covering. We are going to demonstrate very shortly, and then we're going to have you guys practice hands-on. Group 2, please follow. We get a bit of a walk, and while we walk, I'm going to talk. So firstly, we're going to go over cover. We're going to go over peeking from cover, and we're going to go over how not to blind fire. Because blind firing is fucking cringe. All right.
Not yet. Smile.
Not yet. Ha.
Okay, so squad 3, that side of me. Squad 4, this side of me. Spread out, set yourselves up according to your squad leads. Once again, for everybody, make sure you are on the radio stations for your squads.
You're in charge.
Coyote prep to demonstrate. Yes. Oh, you look prepped, you spooky bitch. All right, give me a second to go back over to them. Not me getting lost. What are you talking about? Literally took them around the corner and lost it. Because I'm a little brainlet.
How many times have
Hi,
you been
Group
here?
1. Shut too many times. All right, I'm trusting that you are all listening because I cannot see you. I have a bunch of flying voices of doom around who are going to make sure that you are listening. Those flying voices of doom, I trust you all have broadcast. If there is a question, please relay that question to me through broadcast so that I can answer it through broadcast. We're going to start by going over cover. So, squad leads, please show your squad mates how to take cover behind low, medium, or high cover objects. Simply demonstrate how you would take cover.
Actually, Thomas, it might be better to have people ping.
Could do that.
Because you could jump in and respond to them on broadcast.
Yeah, we could do that. Okay, I lied. If you have a question, ping a DM and I'll jump over to you. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to demonstrate cover. I would like people to take cover in the direction of your opposing squads. So make sure that you will be gun barrels down towards the opposing squads wherever you take cover.
What's up, I'm obviously visible. I'm obviously able to be shot back, right? There's counterplay here. But
yeah,
obviously, I need a reload as well. So every time I shoot, take my couple bursts, just like you heard from Timos before. But when I'm reloading,
just a quick reminder, nameplates should be off for this. Sorry to interrupt, Timeless.
spend some time.
Yeah, turn them nameplates off. Yeah.
You're not going to be constantly sitting up here and doing your thing.
All right, so
spraying bullets down there, right?
we
It's kind
are
of back and
going
forth,
to
right?
talk about blind fire and why it's not great.
Maybe you
Squad leads and your squad seconds. I trust that you all know how to blind fire correctly, which is stormtrooper aim. Please show them that. Notice that their bodies may not be exposed when they do this, but they are intentionally missing their shots. They're utilizing Stormtrooper aim to intentionally miss. That's because if you are using a gun to fire around cover without exposing your body enough to aim, you're not going to be able to aim that gun very well at all. You will not land accurate shots. If we see you landing accurate shots from blind fire, we are going to punish you for it. That's not kosher. Please don't do it. We're going to talk suppression and how to actually peek out and utilize suppression and not blind fire people. So, squad leads and seconds. I would like you to position yourselves in such a way where the squad leads are firing upon the seconds. You're in opposing parts of cover. Squad leads are suppressing their seconds. Showcase why suppressive fire is important, why it is oppressive. For those who do not know, suppressing fire is when you are firing upon an enemy who is in cover, deliberately to keep them in cover. Because if they peek out from cover while they're being shot at, they're going to get their brains blown out against the nearest wall. Nobody likes that. So, suppressing fire is a key tool to making sure that you keep your enemies down, oppressed, out of your way, so that you can reposition. A lot of combat is positioning and communication more than anything. It's less gunplay, it's less melee play, and it's more talking to the people you are working with, positioning around them, cohesing with them, cooperating with them to get whatever it is done that you are trying to get done. Now, groups, squads. I would like you to suppress the shit out of each other. Close in a little bit, make sure you're in cover, and just kind of take turns suppressing each other. If you're peeking out and getting shot intentionally while you are in cover, while you are doing this drill, you are doing it wrong. If you take fire, you should be hunkered down. You should be making sure that you are not peeking. You are not visible in any way, shape, or form. Feel free to engage each other. I'll give you like 3 minutes to just kind of shoot the hell out of each other at suppress. If you want to take any actual aimed shots, ensure that you are peeking enough of your body out to be shot back at. If you are in low cover where you are kneeling down, you should be kneeling up or leaning over the side of the cover enough to expose at least a quarter of your body. It doesn't got to be a perfect quarter, but you get what I mean. Make sure you can be shot at. Medium cover, that is like chest high. You should be, again, exposing the top of your body chest high up over that cover when you are taking aimed shots. You can suppress while doing this as well. It is okay to aim while suppressing. You're just aiming at the cover there behind. It is okay to blind fire while suppressing as long as you are not intentionally trying to kill. You are not aiming to shoot directly at them. If you are in high cover, your entire body is obscured by cover. It is taller than you. Make sure that you are leaning out over the side. I look at Fox Little as a perfect example, taking aimed shots where I can see the entire right side of his body from arm, leg, and about a quarter of his torso is exposed. That is perfect. He is waiting, he is spacing his shots. That is perfect. I love the suppression coming from Group 1, Group 2. I hope you guys are having as much success. I pog at Coyote. I'm sure he'll tell me all about it. I am actually going to swap with him periodically so that I can keep an eye on both groups. Please stop firing at one another.
Crossfire, crossfire.
All right. So, I want Squad 2 to shoot at Squad 1 when I tell you. And I want Squad 4 to shoot at Squad 3 when I tell you. What we're going to do now is retreating. Squad leads, please showcase what retreating looks like. Showcase how we are not just running away from the situation. We are actively moving cover to cover. while we retreat. We are making sure that as many surfaces and walls are between us and our opponents as possible. Showcase that briefly. And then again, the squads that I instructed to fire upon the other squads, light them up. I want the other squads who are being shot at to retreat. If you guys don't have too much room to retreat, maybe reverse the roles. So like I see a damned firing line over here being led by Exfoller. What a fucking mad lad. I'm gonna give you guys some supporting fire actually. Yeah, let's make Exfoller squad push back, huh? Bring that heat up, guys. There you go. Very nice. Retreating is great for repositioning, reacquiring better cover. You know, if you notice that they have the height advantage on you, if they are flanking you out, anything like that, retreating is obviously a very, very handy survival tool to make sure that you can get some kind of leg up. Sometimes it's okay to give ground. Runners especially, I'm kind of calling you guys out here too. A lot of runners really don't like retreating for some reason. Understand it keeps you alive. If you need to pull back and give some ground to make it happen, that's okay. Supporting cast members when you are playing corporate guards. If a GM instructs you to retreat, you should know how to retreat. We're going to talk about better ways of retreating, but I want the basic concept down now. We're going to mix some stuff up here. Please stop firing.
Punch my wall. Oh God, what did that wall ever do?
You guys are demons over here, you know that?
Thank you.
Just a bunch of demons. I feel so sorry for their squad. One of the quickest ways to die in a gunfight is moving during active fire, aka you are running into a crossfire, you're being shot at, you're shooting back, and somebody runs between those shots. Honestly, your allies are probably going to kill you before your enemies do. So, one of the worst things that I could do if you guys are all just lighting up this whole area is, you know, be like, I'm gonna run around to this cover while you guys are shooting. No, you need to wait for your window. So when you are retreating, you need to wait for that window to retreat. You need to wait for there to be as little gunfire as possible to make your retreat. Never run in front of your allies' shots. I'm gonna say that again. Never run in front of your allies' shots. This is why you have radio stations, is so you can communicate and cooperate. If you need to move in front of an ally, you call them out. If you know their character name, call that out. If you know their player name, call that out. Be like, hey, moving. And make sure that they process what you are saying to them before you do it, so they don't accidentally light you up while you try to make your moves. That is a safe way of retreating. We do not want to retreat when bullets are flying. This is where suppression comes in to help retreating. Your allies can suppress your enemies while you are retreating so that you are not moving during fire. Just the same, your enemies can push by having some of them suppress and others move. That is bounding movement. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. If there are any questions so far, please ping a DM. I will get to you. I will answer questions on broadcast. I will repeat the questions that are asked. Since I know you're all spread out. I'll give it
Thanks for the shield neither. That was pretty good.
We'll give it like 30 seconds or so for questions. And if I don't see any, we're going to continue. While we're killing time, as always, you guys know I like feedback on these things. If anybody has any kind of feedback, let me know. You know, shoot me a DM after session, after the workshop or whatever. I think in lieu of the basics shop, being the way it was, where it's a lot more like demonstration and presentation and questions. I think that works for basic shops because they're kind of an open mic situation where it's going to be a lot of maybe people with lesser experience who need to get that experience, and they're going to have a lot of questions. These advanced workshops I want to be a lot more hands-on because a lot of you already kind of know a lot of this information, and I want you to be able to showcase it, practice it, and make sure you know how to do things as comfortably for yourselves as possible. I'm not really getting any questions, so we're going to move on. We're going to go into offense. I'm sure this is the part a lot of you have been waiting on. You don't want to deal with retreating and surviving. You want to be a gremlin and go get shot. You know, that's okay. I respect that. I want to be a gremlin and get shot too. So, let's chat offense. Firstly, we're going to talk about how to push your enemies. It is the exact reverse of retreating and suppressing for your allies while you're retreating. You're going to suppress for your allies while they're moving in. So, the easiest way to push is with bounding movement. Like I said, we would talk about this a little bit more. There are two types of bindings, boundings, whatever you want to call them, that we're going to focus on. One is bounding movement, one is bounding suppression. Let's talk bounding suppression briefly first. It is the same as regular suppression, but you are sort of like spacing your shots. You're tearing them out. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in front of me. The best way to do bounding suppression would be to have 3 of you firing on your enemies while the other 3 are moving. You're suppressing, you're focusing on keeping them down and unable to fight back while your allies are moving. When your allies have reached a point of safety, you all get to reload, your allies get to cover the reload. That is bounding suppression. As they are moving, that is bounding movement. You're bounding suppression, they are bounding movement, you trade roles. Once they have reached where they need to reach, they begin to suppress, you begin to move. That is how you push. Understand, especially supporting cast, how deadly bounding movement tactics are. There is a reason that is a real world tactic. There is a reason it works. It's really oppressive. If you are going to do that, it should be understood that you are running elite level combatants, and most likely the GMs are telling you to straight up dunk on the players. Otherwise, you can use bounding movement and suppression. Maybe don't turn it up to 11. You know, don't make it completely infallible because it's pretty infallible. So, what I want is I want Squad 1 to push Squad 2, and I want Squad 3 to push Squad 4. Use your suppression.
So they're pushing us.
Take turns as you suppress, communicate with each other. I don't want my squad leads giving orders, I want them communicating orders. The difference is you are not bossing your people around, you are discussing with them what you should all do. You are providing suggestions and feedback and aiding them. Remember that, squad leads, please. Same for your seconds. When you are ready, feel free to push. I want to see suppression. I want to see bounding movement. I want to hear communication. You guys should be talking to each other about who is moving and when, who is suppressing and when. Call out your reloads to each other. Remember your radios for this. Feel free to begin if you have not already. I'm going to check on group 2. These gamers are still getting set up. What are we doing over here? Is it bloodshed over here? Y'all look ready. Commence bloodshed. Group 2 is still getting set up. Feel free to start killing. Oh, you're talking. I see. Very nice. Remember, we want to move cover to cover. You should not be out in the open if you can help it. You want to move from one piece of cover to another at all times. Squad leads, I want you to appoint your seconds on flanking maneuvers. We're going to show people what flanking is the hard way. Continue as you are and commence flanking with your seconds. have them find a flanking route. If there is no flanking route available, that is okay. We'll discuss what flanking is while you guys are shooting at each other. Flanking is very simply getting behind your enemies. If there are corridors, if there are high advantages, if there are hallways, if there are entrances and exits that you can use to get behind and around your opponents, that is what flanking is. When you flank them, you are quite literally able to light up their backs. Please make sure that if you do a flanking maneuver, you fire a couple of warning shots off prior to engaging in full. Well, this is interesting. Doesn't say that on broadcast, Capo.
I'm about to say something else that is possible when you are flanking, even if you don't want to take the shots. Yell at someone to get their attention. So the funny part is, if you get their attention and they turn around, that gives your team an opening to move forward while they're not looking. So
Sure
either
does.
shooting or yelling does give another option.
Any of you who have verticality as a part of your kit, understand that verticality is also a method of flanking. If you can get above people and take pot shots on them from above, they have very little reactivity that they are capable of giving because you have that height advantage on them. Supporting cast, I want you guys in particular to understand that flanking, much like bounding movement, is very deadly. If you get a successful flank on people in a mission setting, understand that you can, in fact, take a life, potentially, so treat that carefully. As Capo said, yell at them. As I said, give a couple warning shots. Unless a GM specifically instructs you otherwise, which 9 times out of 10, you're probably a sniper, and it's probably for some kind of story reason, you should not be taking unprompted flanking shots. It is unreactable. There is no way that they can know, and through latency, you might kill someone before they, out of character, process they're being attacked. Nobody likes that. Miss your first few shots. Make sure you can see them react. Yell at them. Make sure you can see that they hear you. Then you can utilize your flanking. You are going to get shot back. It's not to get the advantage. It is to apply pressure. When you guys are ready, feel free to cease fire. We can go over questions. Again, I'll give you about 30 seconds to ping ADM. We'll come take questions. Once more, when you are finished, cease fire. I'll give you 30 seconds to take questions. Some of you need to turn your gun volume down. Once again, cease fire. There we go. If you can't hear me when I call ceasefire, your gun sounds are way too loud. You might want to fix that shit. Once again, if you didn't hear, we are open for questions.
The whole time I was by the
Man, Coyote gets to see wounds and I don't. This is bullshit.
I see freaking little Spidey over here by the stairs, like, I'm coming on in, I'm coming in. I'm like, guys.
Coyote, I'm gonna let you do your thing. Contact me when you guys are ready. I'm gonna talk to Group 1 in the same way you are. So how do we feel, guys? Any questions? Any gripes? Any issues? How are we feeling?
I'm alive.
No.
That looked pretty good.
I can't do
It did
anything
look good.
complex. I can only
Straight up, like healthy two minutes.
My it's the fact that I think I accidentally took the lead for a little bit there.
Some people got left behind, but
Oh, understandable. Well, that's why we have two ICs in case the lead needs to figure this shit out.
yeah, the only damage I took was accidentally from the only damage I took was from Star's covering fire with me as I was pulling on her with her. She was like, she was walking over there. I'm like, please give me the name and everything else. I'm relying on radio.
You're getting an advocate on your team.
We have 2 flying people. Yay! Yes. We also have LP. Radio 10.
Switch it up.
I made sure not to fly.
All right, group 1, you guys do your thing. I'm gonna check on 2 very quickly. Ooh, Coyote's doing question.
I just want to try to shield them.
When I was waiting to be like,
My shield was fun. 15, 16. I don't know.
I heard 14.
That's a really good question, and I just kind of want to highlight it really quickly. Can you provide suppression or covering fire with a sniper? In fact, that is pretty much a sniper's job. Sniper has 2 goals. One is to suppress by applying very direct, very high caliber fuck you to whatever they need to stay in cover. Or, when that person pops out of cover, deciding that they no longer have rights to a head. Yeah, feel free to waste ammo and take them sniper shots.
Yeah, so that is one of the questions because since we've been told that we're supposed to be blind firing to make sure that they can't approach too easily, that doesn't quite mesh with sniper rifles principles in general.
It's a bit of a different principle.
To intentionally miss to hit that suppression. As a sniper, since you're a lot more precise, your goal is to find a decent enough vantage point, hold that vantage point, and snipe them from there. And yeah, a lot of your shots are going to be aimed. In that same regard, aimed suppression is also something that you'll see. So, Coyote, if you'll hit cover for me real quick.
Of course.
Realistically, they're going to suppress the sniper so they can't get that aim in.
Where'd he go? He's a
You're supposed to draw attention as a sniper, even if you're far away.
Okay. Alright. So, in the event that I want to suppress this boy, I can very much kind of just... And notice I'm intentionally shooting the wall there, or... If I really want to risk it, I can aim out, and sure he can now see me, I can still suppress here, and make sure he hunkers down. And I can shoot where he was to really emphasize that. And he can take shots back while I'm reloading. Now as a sniper, Coyote, go ahead and hit high ground for me. Oh, that's really high ground. Alright, where's a good angle that you can see me from that I can't see you from very easily? I believe in a thing called dead angles. Oh god, that's the opposite of a dead angle. Okay, so usually, you know, snipers, if you see them, they're gonna see you just fine, but let's say like I'm up against this wall here. Yeah, you might want to... I know! Yeah, fucking get over here!
We were watching the ninja throw herself against the wall. It was funny.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Teenage Mutant... Alright, so... It's a little hard to show a dead angle because odds are if you can see a sniper, they can see you, vice versa. But in this, I think in this specific case, it's actually pretty decent. So let's say I'm like cover behind this pillar. I'm like shooting over this wall here. and I want to go like fully peek out, he can see me and he can take that shot whenever he damn well feels like it, even if he misses.
I had it right
That
on your
is
head.
so.
That is gun.
Fucking coyotes these days, I'm telling you. So, TLDR sniping is a risk and reward kind of tool. Just as much as you can suppress with it, you got to understand that snipers are traditionally going to have less ammo. And as a result of them having less ammo, they need to be very careful with how they use it. Suppression generally isn't the best idea when you're sniping. What you want is you want to wait for the enemies to start suppressing your allies as a sniper, and then you start picking heads.
Okay, so you take advantage of the fact that they're focusing on other people, and then shooting them.
Take advantage of the fact that they're focusing on other people, exploit that, start picking heads, and that's using verticality in the same way that you would flank.
Okay. Okay. I think it's, yeah, at this point it's just that in comparison to etiquette.
Yes. Okay, one more time as I go back to check on group 1 here. I want to reiterate that bounding, whether that is bounding retreats or bounding pushes, as well as flanking and verticality, are very, very, very strong tools that can, in fact, get a lot of shit done. So, this is a warning to GMs and to cast members on the supporting cast side of things. I want you guys to make sure that if you are utilizing these tactics, your bounding movement, your suppression, your flanking, from that supporting standpoint, from that GM standpoint, that it is elite supporting cast members you are working with, those people who are portraying elite guards, they're playing, you know, HTRs, whatever, what have you, those elite player killing units or guards that are highly trained, maybe like the heavy corp guards are good to do a lot of bounding movement, suppression, flanking, all that. We don't want our random mooks, our slummers, who the players are just going to shoot up to be, you know, acting like they're a spec ops unit, is the bottom line. Players, I want you guys to very, very, very deeply focus in on whether or not your character would know these sorts of squad tactics. If they wouldn't, you shouldn't use it. It's that simple. That goes for this entire workshop. If your character doesn't have that training, don't use the info. I mean, this helps you learn how to, like, acclimate within the info, but don't utilize it. Please. See, I talked about mag dumping earlier. Don't fucking mag dump. Don't coup de grace. If you know what coup de gracing is, you probably have heard 9 trillion times don't coup de grace. If you don't, it's executions. If someone is on the ground incapacitated, don't kill them. GMs, correct me if I'm wrong, but when a severe wound is sustained, characters are on the ground. Is that a correct statement?
If you are the dire, you are on the ground. If you are severe, you are acting very injured.
This is only...
Okay, so severe, you are acting very injured. Dire, you are on the ground. So, straight up, if someone gets to dire, and they're on the ground, don't come up to them with a revolver and shoot them in the head. None of that. You know, if they hit that severe, and maybe that severe is a leg injury, and they decide to go to the ground, don't shoot them. Don't kill them when they're on the ground. And players, because I already know some people are going to ask this, because it is a very important question that has already been asked. We're not going to be playing dead. If you want to abuse the fact that coup de grace is not a thing people are going to be doing, understand that you are forfeiting your rights to not be coup de grace. If you get on the ground in hopes that it keeps you alive because you can play dead, possum out, and avoid dying or being at risk of dying, like, oh, I took 1 injury, I'm going to lay down on the ground and pretend to be dead. Understand that the supporting cast members are probably going to capture and jail you. If you are wounded and you decide to hit the ground and then shoot at people from the ground, expecting not to be shot at, understand that you are forfeiting your rights to not be coup de grace, and they will in fact shoot you while you're on the ground. If you are on the ground incapacitated, it is expected that you are to be left alone. If you are not incapacitated and you are in any state of still being able to function, you are fair game insofar as capture or being moved to a more defensible position. People should still not be executing you when you are on the ground. That goes for everybody. Again, I want to remind supporting cast members, y'all have infinite lives. Players kinda sorta don't. So they're gonna coup de grace your random nameless mook guard because it looks cool on their end. And your nameless mook guard is going to respawn and you're fine. They should not be doing that to your supporting cast portrayal outside of missions, because for all we know, you could have more story developed into that supporting cast member outside of missions than that player does in 3 seasons of that player being in Neon Divide. So, they should be treating your supporting cast portrayal outside of missions as if it were another player character. I don't care what models they're in, I don't care how they look, I don't care if they look like 10 other people on the streets. If you are outside of mission format, a supporting cast character's consistent portrayal is also someone that should never be coup de grace, ever.
Let's not fall to sketchism, shall we?
Let's not fall to sketchism, alright? I understand there's jokes about Sketchu's fabulous looking models being on the map, and how people immediately associate them with supporting cast members and then think that they're expendable. Lose that fucking mindset. I don't care what they look like. If that is a recurring character in any way, shape, or form, including supporting cast character portrayals, they should not be coup de grace. You are ending a story. You're not better because you have money put in your model. You're just not. Get that shit out of your head if it's in it.
I don't have money in my model.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's pretty much all the writing I have. What I want to do now is I want to merge the squads. I want squads 1 and 2 to become the same. You are now squad 1. I want squads 3 and 4 to become the same. You are now squad 2. I then would like you all to converge back the way we came. That being for the group that I moved. Go back the way you came.
We're going back.
Everybody else sit tight. I'm going to put you guys in the big space against each other. So, I don't care how you do your radio stations because it's a lot of people and the radios get pretty chaotic when it's that many people. You can stay in your little sub-squads if you want. Squad leaders, just make sure you're also yelling to each other, you're coordinating. Squad 1, new Squad 1. You guys are on my right side where I am firing. Squad 2, new Squad 2, you are on my left side as you're coming in. Go straight up that ramp to your left. Stay on that side. Coordinate. Communicate. Suppress one another. Use bounding movement. Remember, it's okay to shoot in close quarters if somebody gets that close. Remember, we're not here to coup de grace. Here's what's going to happen. Coyote, come up to me.
Already here.
Oh god, you demon. This man said, "Oh my wa, mole shinderu." Alright. Mr. Coyote, please grab your sniper rifle. Folks, spread out if you haven't already. Grab cover, be ready to fight one another.
Is it?
We are going to do a very simple last squad standing. If you sustain enough bullet wounds to put you at severe, you are dead. Be on the ground, be dead. Otherwise, you are up and fighting. You have infinite ammo, you have a bunch of people to work with. Suppress each other, move, communicate. Show me your shit. I'll give you guys plenty of time to spread out amongst your areas of scrimmage. You should not be passing myself or Coyote. You have that entire half of the field to work with. When you are all ready, I would like one squad leader from each side to approach myself and Coyote. You guys are going to duke it out, and and Coyote are going to shoot indiscriminately at random ones of you.
What's up, Crystal? Oh, fantastic.
Do you guys want to take this side and we'll take this side? Squad one will hit the right, we'll hit the left.
Which way are we advancing again?
Should we tell them?
Reverse that, scratch that, reverse that.
Medium range and can deal with someone up close.
We're going this way, yeah?
So, there's tunnels under you guys. Feel free to use those too, if you can find the way in.
Oh, we've got tunnels.
I know the way in.
Oh, look, using those. Okay, then. Close range characters. Would be
You guys have... Yes.
Noted.
I mean, I could say something about that, but we're just gonna let that slide, right?
Okay.
I'll give you guys until 15 at the top of the hour to finish whatever communications or prepping you are doing, because sometimes you don't get all the prep time you want.
We'll go on top, you guys will go on bottom.
Spread out, take cover. You guys have about 30 seconds.
Spread out.
Okay.
Alright.
Squad 3 with me.
I'm going with you.
I believe in you. Something I want you all to notice is we didn't talk about how to communicate with one another over radio. That's because there's no real way to do it. Do whatever works. It's okay if you guys kind of stumble along your words. Just convey whatever it is you want each other to do. Cooperate, work together, buy each other time to get those words out. Try to keep them concise. Don't overthink it.
2 people have found the underground. I literally watched them fall.
Oh dear God, I'm watching what you guys are doing, and it's a little spooky. Remember, if you have your nameplates on, please turn them off. I will give you guys approximately 10 more seconds. Can you fly? Okay. One moment, people. Consider this a little bit extra prep time. Double tap your jump, you'll get up here.
1 second. Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, and then the ground.
Used to.
They sent themselves through the floor. Well, no.
Yeah, they
into the
immediately
void,
went
yes.
down.
There you are.
Double jump and get out of it.
Spooky.
There you go.
Welcome to having godlike power. Welcome to having godlike power.
Pog.
We need to cover this creep as well.
Get back in invisible.
Yes.
There you go.
They're coming in.
Oh, are they moving? Are they coming up? Are they coming up?
All right, heads up. Get ready to engage.
I see people are already taking shots. Fucking send it. If you have yet to send it, fucking send it. Go in. Good luck. Remember, we go until one of you is completely wiped. So don't be afraid to get a little angry about it. Get aggressive. I want to see one of these squads disappear. If you hit severe wound, you are dead.
shooting coyote.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they are. If you guys are shooting Coyote, you're wasting your time. He's there to hurt you. He's not a part of either squad.
It's still funny.
It is still funny.
Oh, they're up right too close to each other.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Run!
I love how we're basically just turrets.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, the neutrals up there are shooting to put out damage. Do not worry about them. They're not your target.
We're just providing testing fire.
You should be worried about that other sniper.
We need to be careful without that guy up there.
Oh, that was interesting.
If y'all are doing this shit in character, I'm proud of you. If you're not, I'm also proud of you.
Oh god, this magic circle on the field.
Oh god.
I don't know, that's area of denial though, right there.
Yo, whoever called down the fucking Zeus aid from Hades, I'm proud of you.
That is a magical element you won't normally find in your combat scenarios, but it's something you have to be prepared for. People have magic. People are able to make weird magical things. They will deny you zones. They will give you status effects. This zone here will stun you if you get involved with it, and it's not pretty.
There was a grenade.
I'm proud of them. I just saw an explosion. Who has grenades?
Oh, it looks like you guys are getting pushed back a little bit. Go ahead, use the full extent of this map. Feel free to pull back, push back, do whatever you need to do.
Giving you a warning. Get your cover. There we go.
Coyote, pick a squad, join them. Luca, pick a squad, join them. Capo, pick a squad, join them. Throw a little bit of mayhem in the mix. Oh god, it's Panda freaking Monium. I have no idea.
I think it's more useful for you if you're up here. There you go. Alright, got that one. Alright.
Cover ready. Covering fire!
Here comes a bounding line.
Right.
There's cover fire going through. Cover, cover, cover to cover, cover to cover. Good stuff, people.
We got one coming up.
Cover fire!
Reloading.
Moving! Oh! Oh, this looks like fun! You guys having fun over here? my god! Oh, it's a murder! Oh, it's a massacre!
Snipers on the right, pull back! Oh, fuck! Moving, cover me. Got it.
You guys having fun? He's getting pushed kind of hard.
Reloading.
Might wanna... I believe in you.
Behind us!
Oh, hi! They're not having fun.
We're in from behind as well. Hey!
This is gonna be awkward, I don't know. Someone shot at me.
I basically just stabbed your hand.
Stay fucking down. Look how fucking surrounded you are. Get down. I captured one of them.
Are you on the other?
I'm on your team at this point. I'm just here to watch the melee fights go on now.
Yeah, I just captured one of their medics.
No, I don't have my fucking bag. Go ahead and take whatever you got medical on ya. Syringes.
Moving.
Anything to do with the situation?
I'm moving forward.
There's one over there. One over there is left.
I wanted to.
Damn it.
Okay.
We just stick you up in the spot.
How's the situation over here? I got fucked pretty bad. I want to see a lost vibro dagger by chance. Hi, I was in melee.
So I've got the radio on and Darth is on the radio right now.
Oh, he's fucking dead.
Alright.
Alright, those of you with melee options, I want to see you guys make it happen. Get into some fucking melee if you've got it. If you don't, keep shooting each other. I believe in you. You guys are holding out fucking long, which is what we want. We want these prolonged engagements. Trust me, a GM will speed it up if it needs to be sped up. Look at all the bodies. Oh, it's pandemonium over here. What's up?
Fuck is this? Really fucking convenient to look at my shit. Yes!
I heard tell that there was someone who shot into a melee engagement. If you do that again, I'm gonna find you and shoot you.
Make sure they don't shoot us. Careful there, buddy.
Please do not fire into melee engagements nor out of melee engagements. If you see a melee fight happening between two parties, simply let it occur. If you are a melee unit and you see a melee fight, you can get involved. Just make sure you do not mob your opponent down. These are things we covered in the basics shop, people. This is why I say to attend both. I'm expecting that you have knowledge of the basics if you come to this shop. No one's in trouble. Trust me, I will never yell at anybody directly. Do not shoot into or out of melee engagements. If there is a melee engagement happening, the only thing that should be engaging with it is more melee. There you go, close in, that's right.
So down.
Oh no, this armor is making me real fucking miserable.
Watch that left stick. Remember, even if you're in full body, it's okay to move around your real space.
Where'd my shotgun go?
Feel free.
Oh, hold on. Recalibrate. Sorry. Alright, we get
Oh my god, never mind, this is an even fight. Either of you got a dice roller handy, you can feel free to just fuck them up with some dice.
My trackers want to actually stay with me.
Yeah, have fun with the trackers.
You seem to be losing your
Oh my god, I just watched Renegade get
Let's play one cigarette.
Holy fuck!
Sorry.
Go over there, but hands up.
They're calling hands up. Oh yeah, they're starting to take hostages, huh?
Give it a sec, give it a sec,
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh my, I think we may have a victory.
I just see a bunch of T-posing, so I don't really know what to do.
I don't know what squad you're on there in a melee, but there's some shit going on over here. There's some people getting held up. You might get held up soon.
You said who from allies win.
They took hostages. You guys took hostages. You guys are war criminals. Oh my god. Are we still kicking over here? There's like a whole melee going on over there and shit. Like, yeah, and I'm proud of them. They're getting it.
Take another blow.
I think we have a victor.
Oh, she's dead. She's dead.
If you're still alive, I would like you to close in over at the gates that a couple of people were shooting from. You should see me floating. If you're still alive, come hither. Unless you're in that melee fight, feel free to finish that out if you're still doing that. Go nuts.
Yeah, I don't really want to interrupt their melee fight. They can have fun.
Once more, if you are still alive and not currently engaging in a fight, please come over to me. You should see me floating.
Oh yeah, there my hip tracker's doing. Yep.
Damn, this really it? Shit. Damn, y'all dead as fuck over here. Okay, I'm still seeing some survivors from both squads. I think you guys know what I'm gonna ask you to do.
And I had a surrender from
Oh, alright.
Surrender. Alright, we're gonna count living members of both squads. If you are squad 1, please stand by the gate. If you are squad 2, please stand by the truck.
Yeah, one more.
Ball in, squad 2.
This is simpler than me messing with the gun.
There we go. Perfect.
Again, if you are alive and you are in squad 1, come over to the gate next to me. If you are squad 2, stand over by the truck.
Hey, can we tell the people that are dead?
Wait,
that
was that
fighting
number?
on laying down, they can come and watch all this?
3, 4, 5.
Jeez, yeah, if you're dead, please get up and come watch. You're fine. I love the dedication, but you guys can get up now. I'm so sorry.
Hang on a second. Timothy, put your arm. Timothy, okay. I want
The dedication is insane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did you join 1 or 2?
I was
Coyote.
on 2.
Okay.
Dead squad over here.
1 or 2. Okay.
Oh my god.
Did you help one or two more?
I think it was that side. Yeah, one.
Okay, in that case, that is 7 to 8. You guys are almost even out. So, here's what I want to see happen. Squad 1, pick a champion. Squad 2, pick a champion.
I don't want it anymore.
Glorious melee combat.
Glorious melee combat.
Yeah, I'm good.
Combat the combat.
I will fight Builder. I don't think have any. I want round 2. I've got melee too.
Bold of you to assume that this is going to be a melee engagement. If both champions are holding guns, I'm going to make it a gunfight. Just pick a champion. Don't worry about what they're holding.
Oh god.
Alright, first of all, I've only seen you in, like, innocent little bean boys. So this is, like, dissonance terrifying, and I like it.
This is my therapy character, so.
Love that for you.
The twunk!
Fucking twunk, stop! No, that's it, I'm shooting God.
I'm taking cover.
Alright, do we have our Squad 2 champion?
I too am afraid of what I have created.
Okay.
Alright.
I don't have my.
You guys both have options here.
Can I?
So what I'm going to tell you is because you're both holding melee weapons and you're both holding guns, I will allow you to fight however you guys agree to fight. Go ahead, set your conditions. You both have hammers, you're fighting with hammers. Alright.
Hammers! Hammers! Woo!
Alright, Squad 1! Show me some enthusiasm for your champion!
Come on, Squad 2, let's go!
Squad 2! Show me some enthusiasm for your champion!
Is he your champion? Who's your champion?
Champions! Show me your motivation!
Yeah, he's got glowy eyes. He's got fucking armor. Yo, what the fuck are his eyes, though? It's funny. Those kind of scary.
If any of our GMs know their way around GMing a melee fight and want to go for it, feel free to GM this. Otherwise, I'll do some shotgun GMing and start rolling. Chair's already in there. Champions, make sure you can hear Chair. Make sure you can hear your GM, you two.
Okay.
I'm showing up real quick.
I'm gonna take this guy up too.
Very nice.
Come on, this is unfair. You guys try.
Oh, by the way, we're assuming you're both at full health.
free. Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
I'll fix that.
Bring that guy to the ground.
A successful block from Java.
Come on. Do something.
Nice one.
Do something.
Chair, if I could get you on broadcast so we can make sure the stream hears you, that'd be awesome.
True, actually.
Come on, this ain't fair. This ain't fair. You know what?
I don't know how to do that on desktop either. I think it's like, T? Okay.
Alright, got it.
Come on. Get the fuck back. Come on. Come on, this ain't fair. Come on.
Building, you lose your grip on your hammer. You take the blow from the hit.
Let's go, champion. Let's go.
Little coffee man.
Do a swing.
My God.
Java, you feel your muscles weaken. Builder's hit impacts.
Come on, motivate your champions!
Beautiful.
Builder, your kickback.
Take a moment and breathe, gentlemen. Remember, pushes, kicks, all that, they're good for sequence breaking. If you need breaths, use those to take breaths.
Rock, paper, scissors. No? Okay.
I mean, I'm cool with it.
Rock, paper,
Scissors.
Fuck. Rock.
Seems like we still
paper. Scissors. Rock.
Huh? Paper.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna kick your ass anyway.
Successful hit from Java.
Oh my god. What a slippery, slippery man.
You don't regret ever coming into my resistance, Cassie.
This is getting personal.
Oh, there's some personal beef going on here. Oh no. This is some in-character shit. I'm here for it.
You feel the bones in your arm begin to crack, Java.
Not the Sparta kick. Oh my god.
To the ground outside of the court. You want to
groaning and in pain.
If you cannot see, feel free to close in.
If you're using
Not too close. Give him space to fight.
pocket flash.
Oh, not the pocket flash. Not the knees. Oh my god.
Feel the pressure from the hammer.
Motivate your champion!
Come on, Builder!
Your hammer snaps in half at the middle.
Oh my god, Builder's hammer is broken!
You still got a shield back.
Thank you, kiss the wall!
Holy shit.
Fist fight! Fist fight! Fist fight! Yeah!
Come on.
Successful block from Builder.
My champ's a boxer. Look at that form. Holy shit.
Of the boxing sway.
Builder successfully grabs Java. Headbutts his
Remember, gentlemen, give each other time to react. Slow down just a little.
You feel the blood draining from your nose, dripping down onto the ground.
Grab the leg.
That's how I was dirty. Come on.
Come on. You don't care about your
get back up.
use it.
Okay.
Oh, these two actually have gone in character at this point.
Oh, lands a right hook. Java, you have him nailed up against the wall.
The ever-present wall. Catbug, who hurt you?
After he hits, Builder, you feel the energy start to fade from you.
Give me a chance. Give me a chance. Come on. Come on.
You feel the pain from your knees.
No, they called each other out in character. They've been in character the whole time.
You shove back up against the wall.
Come on, you can be harder than that. Aren't you supposed to be boss? You're my boss. You're my boss.
Kicks in the chest. You feel your ribs crack under the weight of his boot. You cough out blood.
Look at me.
End it, champion!
Looks like you finally learned how to fucking fight.
Come on. One more try.
Oh my god.
I'm fucked up. You're fucked up. Come on. We can make it work.
Oh my god.
Charge.
This will be your final exchange, gentlemen. I want to see a death.
You're on top of him, punching him.
Or a surrender.
After hit, you miss.
Your champion is going to fall. Motivate him. The boot to the chest.
Press on your chest. You feel him, his weight crushing you.
Give up or I'm gonna kill you. Give up or I'm gonna fucking kill you. You want to
You
see
feel your
Cynthia again?
fractured ribs
You want to see Cynthia again?
creep
Come on, give up.
and groan under your skin.
Come on. Come on.
Fucking do it. Come on, tools, go. Just fucking end it.
Just a little more effort. Wow. Holy Jesus. I don't even need to roll for this.
More!
Does he even have a face anymore?
I think that's a lot.
Champion, give me your hand.
I got this.
Give me your hand.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
He wasn't dead before.
Cheer for your champion! Excellent work, gentlemen. You both did fantastic.
Take a trophy.
You know, maybe it's time I plunged into necromancy, you know? It never hurts to try. Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, I always promise not to take up too much of your time, and I hope I did not take up too much of your time today. That is all I have for you. You are free to go, but if you want to participate in the Fight Club, I think there's a champion to dethrone. Feel free to stick around if he wants to, and if not, we'll keep it rolling one way or another. I'll be here for a minute. I've still got charge, and for once I don't have a headache. If you'd like to leave, thank you for coming. We are done. If you'd like to stay, feel free. Talk amongst yourselves or fight. Practice. It always makes perfect. Thank you for attending.
I was watching, I was like, I can come back.
I'm going to do that thing I did last time where I'm going to yell names on broadcast for the stream so that we can make sure people's attendance are accounted for. Please ignore me. Just do your talking. I'm sure it'll be heard. Grim, Advo, Apex, Ariana, Builder, Capo, Panda, Catbug, Chair, Crystal, Darth, Dogs, Expoler, Fox, Free Coyote, Friendly Explosion, HP, Java, Kid Canuck, Curlon, Lanfear, Luca, Manamanera, Neither, Nico, OSL, Renegade, I don't care, I'm doing it anyway, Sketchy, Sky Raider, Solace, Pluto, Star, me, Steven, Knickknack, and Zab, you are all cleared for the advanced workshop. Thank you!
Beaten to death almost and got taken prisoner.
And of course, Mezzo, he also crashed, but he's back.
Not up to me. I think it's Fantasy next week. Not Fantasy, we'll figure games at some point if enough people are interested in it. I mean,